the first weeks of Holacracy 5 years ago almost, so that's quite some time, 4.5 years. Yeah, it was insecure. It felt a bit scary. Like we're doing this thing and we don't even know what it is, or we just had this idea of it.
So when you first come across Holacracy, people are often struck by the rules, by the mechanics. It's almost technical. It doesn't come across as natural or simple to learn.
It's important to understand how difficult that can be, and that it's not just learning the rules, but that it is initiating the mindset shift. And initiating the mindset shift means changing habits, changing behavior.
You need to break down those old power structures, explicit or implicit. They will be there in the beginning, and it's really hard to do that yourself.
So if we're talking at the beginning of a Holacracy adoption, there's going to be a learning curve where there's new behaviors being tried, asking people if they have a role instead of just responding to your old boss by default. And these can be disruptive, it can be disorienting.
Truly getting the power shift without an external coach, I think is really, really hard. I'd love to see it succeed, but I think you need at least some external support for that. Because you're in it. It's really hard to break those habits.
I think it's critical. God bless people DIY trying to do this by themselves, because it is so subtle, and the value that people get from people who've seen these kinds of situations happen and what's the best way to navigate them, because you can tie yourself in knots, pretty easily with this stuff if you haven't got a good coach or a good direction about how to follow that.
I think when it comes to a practice like Holacracy, one of the most valuable things any organization can do, if it's at all possible, is get a good coach. Get somebody who's been there, done that, knows this game, and can help you play the game right.
Within a few months, we did a taster program, a pilot program. We had the Holacracy folks come out and lead us through a real governance meeting in our company. And man, within the first 15, 20 minutes, I felt a ton of weight just come off my shoulders.
We had a coach coming basically to all of our tacticals and governance meetings, facilitating them even, being facilitator and secretary at the same time, and then generally decreasing that and doing more and more ourselves.
But having it there on site, it gave people an opportunity to have those interactions, those one-to-one interactions with experienced, seasoned practitioners. It was definitely very helpful to have people, a support system for myself as an implementer to rely on, because in fact, reality is much more complex than what you encounter in a class.
In the beginning, as an unexperienced Holacracy practitioner, you don't know what is the problem. You just see it's breaking. People are resisting, or people are frustrated, but there can be 5 or 10 different causes for that. And the coach will recognize it and say, we should train the facilitator better, or people have no clue, how the governance searching works. Simple stuff. And that's what a coach will help you with. Find the right solution for your problem. You can see the problem, but they know what actually the solution is.
The coach doesn't short-circuit the learning for you. Right? You still have to do your own learning process. What they do is make sure you are learning the right behaviors, the right patterns. They're there to guide you and to make sure you're practicing the right stuff.
Really understanding what it's about, that's quite a process. Valuable process still, but it's a process.